Yeah, 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 yo, 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 yo. Anyway, then you go love Mashiach. We live at times of Shnei Zaman. These days we live at Torah portions. Chulu, chulu, chulu. Pas b'shalach. And he sent who sent? Power sent. Why did power send? Because those who didn't know that they were tripping, they didn't know what to do. Chulu, chulu, chulu. So one, we learn, we see Nachshon ben Amanadidov, who, whether this happens, all the machlokes, chulu, chulu, chulu. We know that we need to do everything ourselves. To do what we need to do ourselves, put the base of English in place, chulu, chulu, and whatever happens afterwards, it's in your name, shakucha. That's number one. And number two, the inyan that he had to send, one doesn't know, so we know Makas B'choshech as well. Most of Bnei Yaakov, before we became an Am, were destroyed in Makas B'choshech because they didn't have the Amun B'tachon, they didn't have the main ingredient, that they didn't have the belief and wanted to go out of Mitzrayim. The person doesn't the meaning that we have to go out of Tzmein, we have to see the Mitzrayim from us, like the Satmar Rebbe says, the Prophet dictates Mim Mitzrayim, dictates Mitzrayim, which says Mim Mitzrayim, which says Mitzrayim. Why does Mitzrayim? We have to take the Mitzrayim out of us, Chulu, Chulu, Chulu. So the whole inyan, the Rebbe comes saying, Bishalach, he sent. So, why did he send? The inyan, in the state of Gula Shlem is a mitis. That we have the transformation of Choshech, that the ones who attack are the ones we have first. We come to Am Yisrael, ask them, can you please give us your money, gold and silver? So we see this is the nullification, transformation, the darkness. Was the nullification transformation? It was they themselves, that the Choshech themselves says, no, we want the Gula themselves. When you're proud Jew, when you have this Emunah B'tachon, proud Jew, and believe and want, and the Emunah B'tachon, so then even your biggest enemy, we see with Paro himself had to send out. The Paro was the one pushing for the Gula, making the Gula happen. What the inyan? Because we were proud Jews, like my story, the story I say when I was in back in my day in Crown Heights, when I was walking, down. One day I was walking by with my Walkman. I gotta call, man, give me an awkward eye. That's a story where I was saved by 7-11. That's another story. But at this point, somebody goes, yo, Coops, what up? Coops, you got 50? And I was like, no, I got 75. And he's like, don't act smart with me, shorty. But before he came to mug me, he's like, yo, what's those strings hanging out from your side? I said, man, that's my motherfucking tzitzis, man. I said, ooh, shorty, don't worry, nobody could be mugging you today, man. Go along. Rolled up the red carpet. Why? Because my tzitzis, walking with a proud Jew, because I listen to the Rebbe, I'm following the Rebbe Sichos. I do, I actually chassid. And, when you're proud Jew, so the ones who come to attack you, even your biggest enemy comes to shatefs pula with you, chulu, chulu, chulu. And then when I was lost in the Arab village multiple times in the Holy Land, chulu, chulu, in J-Town, so I was in my Tahal shirt and I had my bird. We didn't change the levushim. So there we were deep from the galus, chulu, chulu, chulu. And my tzitzis out, and my good cousins, they're like, Hamdalila. Some falafel, hummus, you want amba? What do you want? Falafel, hummus, amba? I don't even... Yo, Coops. A proud Jew. We know bothering the proud Jew. So that's the inyan, when we do what we're supposed to do. We have the Emunah B'tachon, the Emunah B'tachon, Kuchabir, believe and come forward to Kuchabir, we have in our DNA, we have to understand our DNA of who we are, remember who we are, and we have to know, why does Am Yisrael love Ala Eish and Kumbaya, chulu. Because this is where we're trippy people, we're in the midbar, the raves. We started the raves. We're 40 years raving in the midbar, dancing, and we're tripping. And Ala Eish, when we left Mitzrayim, we Ala Eish. Rabbi Nachman comes to bring us, because we were the Ochel and Simcha and Kedusha and Ba'anivut, and because of that we redeemed Chulu, Kibbutz Simcha Teitzel, Uvasham Tuvalu. And then we went to Matan Torah. Matan Torah, Hashem was, Anoich Hashem Elokecha, Atasel everybody died. We all OD'd on Kuchabi, and then Kadosh Baruch had to give us narcan and wake us up. Did Tchias amazing. So the whole inyan, the whole inyan we have to understand. You know, the Rabbi Nachman comes to what the inyan that we are. Why do we have the schut? Why do we have the schut? The good is for all of us. Why do we have the schut? Because we are the Tchias amazing Vitzis. We're with this believer Emunah. We have absolute faith in Kuchabichu and Emunah B'tachon Kuchabichu Gulish and put the base in place, and then to be Hashem's trippers chulu chulu v'chulu. And then Ivdu at Hashem b'simcha chulu chulu was in this dinyan. And this is why we zocher the Gulish is a mitis chulu chulu v'chulu v'shtaiste de inyan. May God bless Kol Baruch the whole Am Yisrael. It's going to serve Hashem Yisrael Shatei Pula. Beis Hamikdash Kohanim Levim Shem Bizmachos David Kabon Shketois B'kum Lechem Panim Minor Kodim Shabes Meshav Lamvod the men the Kol Am Yisrael Mem Ken Yotzon and Selvet. When we do what we're supposed to do, and we're proud Jews, and we remember who we are, and we become the priests of the nations of the world. Chulu chulu v'chulu. So then even our greatest enemies becomes our greatest ally, and Beshalach, he said, no, go do this. And we see this in 48, I believe 48, that the UN came and they said, no, the Jews need a state, man. And you know, the whole India now, let's have the same thing, you know, let's work, you know, the Jew is not a Jew until the base of English Shlishi is in place, until the priests of the nation world. And when we're proud Jews, chulu chulu v'chulu. Then we'll have that even our greatest enemies will come and Shatei Pula, and they'll have the transformation. Dinyan was watching on TikTok a video, Transformers Transform. We'll have the complete transformation nullification. The darkness will see with the Kiryat Yamsuf afterwards, with the nullification, B'chozot, the screwballs, Chozot is going to come and attack. Okay, chulu was the Kiryat Yamsuf, but the Dinyan. Before the inyan of now, the inyan of Gulish Navi, the Versteist inyan, may God bless the Chaim, V'livacha, V'levaka, peace and love and peace, the Chaim, and my Chaim. The Hashem says when you see water, you count the water. Say the Hashem says you see water, and count the water. The Hashem says the water is Iman Bracha, Kol Bracha, Kol Am Yisrael, Chaim, V'livacha, V'levaka, all of us soft and loving heart, love one another. Kucha Bichu loves us. Baruch Adonai Chalam Shakol Ne'avav. He-Man. Mashiach here now. Another gears Magulosam. May God bless. Umain.